Hello YouTubers. In this video we're going to be replacing the brakes and adjusting the brakes on our 2009 Club Car Precedent. As with most things, you go to fix one thing and you have to end up fixing 3 or 4 things, and they evolve into something else. And so here we are. Now we have a brake problem or a complaint of the brakes. It takes too much brake to get this thing to stop. And so what we're going to do is replace the rear brakes. Replace the brakes. They're only on the rear. So we're also going to be making adjustments. We'll go through that. But let's put this thing back inside the garage and get it in the air and take it apart. So the cart's in the air. Let's get the wheel off and see what we got behind here for our brakes. So let's make sure that the brake is off and it's not engaged, so that's good. Next we're going to pry off the drum. Somehow we have to get a screwdriver to get that out. Anyway, I'm gonna get a screwdriver and I'm just gonna walk it off all the way around. When I talk about walking it off, I'm just talking about something like this. It's just going to allow us to work the brake off. Anyway, let me get this off. So the brake shoe is off, no problem coming off, or drum is off, no problem. This doesn't look bad at all. The reason I decided to do the brakes was because at the lake there are hills and valleys as you approach the lake, right? And as you're going down the hill, this thing felt like it wanted to not stop. So I was thinking it was the brakes, but there's still quite a bit of meat on that bone. Well, I say that. I haven't opened up the new one. This new one could look completely different. Let's take a look. Nah, they look good. Anyway, we're here. We got the parts. Let's complete the job. So the next thing we're going to do is undo this spring here. So I already took this clip here out. There's a clip that goes behind here and holds in place. This is it here. I'm glad I caught myself before I finished recording. Here's one on the opposite side. So what we're going to do is we're going to push in here. Let's see if I'm sure I can do it. I'm sure I can do it one-handed and get it to turn. But if you look, I'm going to push in on this clip. It's just a clip. We're just going to push in. And if you see this clip or this pin, it's facing this way. It's resting that way. We're going to turn it vertical and it's going to slide right out that hole. Twisted, but I just want to show you the alignment of the springs. I think this is how it was, backwards. But I'm pretty positive the springs actually go like this. So maybe somebody's been in here before and changed the springs in the past, but this is how it's supposed to go that I'm aware of. So all I did was undo the springs and the brake shoes pop off. No big science puzzle there. Pull the springs, shoes will pop off. Now, what I got in my hand, I'm trying to show you. So this is the adjustment, what they call an auto adjuster. It's on every drum brake car. It's on that truck in the back, and it sits right here. I've already cleaned everything, so it sits there. And the brake shoe fits in it, like so. That's how it goes. So the new brake shoe is going to slot into that slot. So I'm going to put this back. There is a washer that goes on it. So you can see, there's the washer. And we're going to put this back, just like so. I went ahead and cleaned it off with some brake cleaner, just for giggles. And now we're just going to put our new springs together on our new shoes and put them back on. So let me show you what we're going to do. So the kit comes with everything we're going to need. Here are our new clips, new retaining pins, and our new springs. This is the bottom spring. It's going to go just like what we have there. So it's going to go over the top. Anyway, the first thing we're going to do is put this spring in, and we're going to let leverage help us out. This piece here, that right there, sits in that slot there. Same with the other side, sits in that slot. Just slide those behind it, and then we're going to put in our retaining clip. So on our auto adjuster, it can only go in one way, right? So it's going to go in this way. Mine was out. What does out mean? Let me show you if I can. It was like this. What that means is that the brakes had worn out or were beginning to wear out, and everything was, the system, what is auto adjusting doing? So let's take a step back. As the shoes wear out because of use, the system with this auto adjuster, this ingenious piece here, automatically detects you're pushing the brake. And when it pushes on the brake, when you push on the brake, you're pushing this lever here. And it is clicking this gear. You see how the gears are facing that direction? This here is pushing it. So as you push on the brake, you're pushing this. And then in turn, that's causing the brakes to fan out. And as they fan out, they hit the drum. And so that's what's happening. That's what's causing the friction to make you come to a stop. And what's happening is, as the auto adjuster detects that there is room there, that the brakes aren't tight, hey, I'm detecting you pushing on this, I'm not all the way snug, the system automatically snugs it up. That keeps the same brake feel all the time. So this piece here just pops in and out. It'll keep scrolling out as the brake pads wear out. This is what's happening. You push on the brake, click. You push on the brake, click. If there's room in the drum, if there's no room inside the drum for this thing to click, it won't do it. Only when it's worn out will it go click, and then it keeps the same brake pedal. Anyway, I'm putting this spring on now. I'm going to put the auto adjuster back down. Let's tighten it all the way down. This is making it as small as possible. So what does small mean? I'll show you. Small means like this. It's making it smaller. As the auto adjuster detects the brakes wearing out, it fans it out, 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 as the material wears off, until eventually there is no material. I've pushed the auto adjuster back in because now we have new brakes, making it as thin as possible so that when we can slide the drum on. And what it'll take is some time and effort in getting it adjusted just right. And we will walk through that. That's not this step. The next step here is inserting the auto adjuster, getting the pin moved back. Not the pin, the lever. Anyway, that, like that. Now we can put the shoes over this. I can't do it one-handed. I don't know how to describe this to you, but I'm essentially going to put this piece here on this side, this piece here on this side, and set it back in right here into that groove. And it's going to sit into this screw here, right there. Anyway, I'm going to set that down, and then I'm going to be putting in the retaining clips, but I'll be back to you for that. So I'm going to put in this clip here. This is our new one. I'm going to slot it into that hole and twist it so that it's the vertical part here is sitting in this crease. In order to get the clip in, all you do is push in on this clip, which I did with a screwdriver, and behind here, just twist it into place until it slots into that groove. Not hard. Okay, the clips are in. Clips are in. Springs are in. Again, all I did was fit that over the top with some leverage, and then that spring is in. All this is I recommend, and you'll see it at the beginning of the video, a locking pair of channel locks, probably needle nose. That grabbed hold of, because this is the toughest spring. This is the only one that is of any relevance that you have to work with. And grab hold of this spring, pull it until it reaches and guide it into the hole. After that, it's nothing to it. So, and if I didn't mention this, after I did this side, I did this side, just to help lock the shoe in place. So now, let's get out our new drum. There it is. And does it go on? It goes on. So, what we want is to make sure that it kind of has some friction on the shoe while it's sitting there. So we're going to have to adjust it. And so we're going to take our screwdriver, and all I'm doing is pushing, and this is causing the shoe to move out. Anyway, I'm going to do that until I get a little bit of friction. I want to have a little friction getting it on. So let's move it out some. Still not loose enough. So keep pushing. Don't overdo it. Don't just go click, 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 because then you're not going to get the drum on. So we want to take it in steps. So I'm just going to do 2 or 3 at a time until I feel some tension putting the shoe on. So as I'm sliding it out and clicking it out, do you notice that the screw is moving? As the screw is moving, it's moving the shoe out. Out. Hopefully you can see that. So that's what I'm doing. And again, I'm taking baby steps until I get where I want to be. Okay, so I'm on to the other side. Everything went fine. Got this side in. I just wanted to bring up to you that everything is reverse. So on that side, the adjustment screw is on the back, but it's on the front. And instead of pointing this way, it points that way. If you can see the teeth. So just everything is backwards. Everything's still going to work the same. We're going to make the same adjustment with the screw. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be pushing instead of pulling like the other side. So let's get the retaining clips in here, and we'll get the last spring in, and that should button up the brake job after we make the adjustments. So one of the things we're going to do now that we've put on new brakes, we want to adjust the brakes, because one of the complaints from everybody that drives it is you have to go to the floor to get it to stop. So we noticed, like we said earlier, the pads look pretty good, so I went ahead and replaced them for no more than they were. But the real problem is probably the pedal. So let's take this cover off. I've already started pulling it up. Thought I forgot to press. I didn't forget to press record. I forgot to record. So we're gonna pull the pad out. It just lifts up and out of place. Okay, pad is out. And this is the panel we want. And this is the mechanism we want. So right now, when we press, we're pulling this. This is connected to each brake drum. As we press, we're pulling onto the brake. Right? So what I want to do is remove this slop in the line. So we're going to tighten it up. So it takes a 13 millimeter. Wrong way. There. Loosen our line. Loosen our line. And now we're going to adjust this guy. I think I'm going the right way. 1 second, I'll tell you. Yes, so you're going counterclockwise. It's getting tighter. We don't want the pads to be constantly touching the drum. We want it when you press the brake, the pads spread out, or the shoes spread out onto the drum. We don't want to leave the pads on the drum, or it's going to create too much friction and too much heat. So we want to bring them in. And so this is part of that adjustment. Anyway, I think I'm going to go with that. Okay. Those are tight. Let me put the panel back in and the pad back down. So the way you're going to be able to tell if you have any kind of friction going on is to move the cart around. That still flows freely. So probably could use a little more tightening, but we're going to run with it like it is. It's way tighter than what it was. And if we need to, we know what to do. We can come back in and tighten it back up even more. So YouTubers, that's it. The brakes are on. They are adjusted. Everything went to plan. If I forgot something, I'll insert it into the videos below. But cart is done. If you like the video, like the video.